When did doing someone a favor go horribly wrong? When I was between jobs last fall, this guy Trent knocked on my apartment door and offered me the contents of an entire storage unit if I helped him empty it that afternoon. I almost laughed in his face until he showed me photos on his phone of vintage guitars, antique furniture, and boxes of what looked like gold jewelry. There's a lot of junk in there too. I'm not gonna lie to you, he said, but whatever you want is yours if you help me out here. Trent explained he was flying to Portugal in 6 hours for a job he couldn't pass up, and his storage unit needed to be cleared out today, or he'd owe another year of fees. He looked exhausted and desperate, showing me his plane ticket and explaining how the moving company had bailed on him that morning. The unit was paid through midnight, and everything inside was mine to keep or sell if I could just help him meet the deadline. My electricity was getting shut off the next day, and I'd been eating ramen for 2 weeks straight, so I borrowed my neighbor's pickup truck and told Trent he had himself a deal. The storage facility was one of those massive places with endless rows of identical orange doors. Trent had the biggest unit at the very back corner, practically a garage, and when he rolled up that metal door, my jaw dropped. This wasn't someone's forgotten junk, but an entire life carefully packed in labeled boxes. There were leather couches that looked brand new, a grandfather clock that probably cost more than my car, and guitar cases that made my musician heart race. Trent stood there checking his phone every 2 minutes while telling me his ex had left him all this stuff in the divorce and he just wanted to start fresh. He helped me load the first few boxes, but kept apologizing that he had to leave for the airport soon. After 20 minutes, Trent handed me the unit key. "You're saving my life here," he said, shaking my hand with both of his. "Take whatever you want, and thanks for not making me deal with her stuff anymore." He practically ran to his car and peeled out of the parking lot while I stood there looking at my lottery ticket of abandoned treasures. I spent the next 3 hours in heaven carefully loading that truck. Every box revealed something incredible like first edition books, pristine vinyl records, or expensive kitchen appliances still in their packaging. There was a whole wardrobe of designer clothing with tags still on, boxes of collectible coins, and enough tools to stock a hardware store. My apartment was furnished with milk crates and a mattress on the floor, but after today I'd be living like an actual adult. The vintage Gibson acoustic alone would pay my rent for 6 months once I sold it, as much as that would feel like selling a kidney. But then I found the filing cabinet tucked behind a stack of paintings. Inside were mortgage documents, tax returns, and insurance paperwork all organized in color-coded folders. My stomach felt weird when I saw the name at the top wasn't Trent anything, but belonged to somebody named Dr. Nathaniel Berger. I thought maybe Trent was his middle name, or this was his ex-wife's maiden name from before they met. Rich people did weird things with their names all the time. But then I opened a box labeled Family Memories 1995 to 2010, and my hands started shaking. Every single photo showed a middle-aged black couple with their 2 kids at birthday parties, graduations, and Christmas mornings. The man in the photos certainly seemed to be Dr. Nathaniel Berger based on the medical degree hanging in the background, but Trent was a 20-something white guy with neck tattoos who looked nothing like anyone in these pictures. I grabbed another box, desperately hoping to find something that made sense, but it was full of baby shoes and kindergarten report cards for kids named Madison and Mason Berger. There was a Father's Day card that said, "World's Best Dad," with a photo of Dr. Berger teaching his son to ride a bike. My chest felt tight as I realized Trent had never owned any of this stuff, had never been married to anyone in these photos, had probably never even met the Berger family. He was just robbing them, or setting me up to rob them, and I had no idea why. He'd somehow gotten access to this storage unit and needed someone else's fingerprints all over everything when the real owners discovered their stuff was gone. Trent was probably already at the airport heading anywhere but Portugal. But why me? Why was this guy I'd never met trying to ruin my life? What was in it for him? That's when I heard the sirens. Full story on the channel below.